people who fix computers, laptops. What's the worst thing you found on someone's computer? Bedbugs in an overheating HP DV6k about 8 years ago. We left it memtesting overnight and in the morning the little buggers were coming out of the vents everywhere. Hope you set fire to the place afterwards. Used to work at a repairs and refurbish center. We worked on consoles and laptops. For laptops, child porn happened maybe 3 times while I was there. Police are immediately called. For consoles, cockroaches. None alive thankfully, but man, just systems full of hundreds of cockroaches, some of them fried on the board. The smell is even worse. We don't work on those, even when it's working. For health and safety reasons, we bag those and throw it out. Some other common strange errors: pet hair caught in cooling fan resulting in overheating, consoles full of sand. Do you guys bring your console to the beach? Sticking stuff in the disk drive. Found $1 once, as well as Wind Waker in an X360. Not on, but in. A guy I know that fixed computers for a living, years ago, had a customer bring in a computer stating that the floppy drive had stopped working. When he opened it up he found cockroaches mashed against the read-write heads in the drive. He said he just closed it up and left it on the front step for the guy to come and retrieve. I don't think you stressed years ago enough. Father-in-law got a new computer and wanted stuff transferred over. His old computer had viruses and ran like shit. Due to this I tried to figure out what actually needed transferring rather than just transferring everything after cleaning it up. Stumbled upon pictures of him in drag and him getting a dildo shoved up his ass. Why do people insist on large thumbnails? WHY. But now you know, and knowledge is half the battle. Battle for what? Don't ask me. I worked for my university's IT department in the laptop depot, so we basically would do any repairs on students/faculty/staff's laptops. We had this really solid warranty with Dell where they were 100% covered for 4 years, even including intentional misuse. We saw all sorts of laptops full of dust, smoke, beer/wine/liquor. They would always say they spilled juice on their laptop. I got to the point where I could replace a motherboard on a Latitude D630 in under 5 minutes. The only time I ever saw a laptop that we refused to repair was one dude who barfed all over his. My boss just put on rubber gloves, put it in a plastic bag, and mailed it to Dell to be replaced. Now imagine the poor fucker who opened that. I bet they were having a good day too. Buddy on my floor freshman year worked at the college help desk. A guy, who I actually knew through another friend, brought his computer in to get fixed. He was adamant about saving what was on the hard drive. My buddy saw some interesting file names, and decided to look further. It was kiddie porn. Dude went to jail. My buddy had to testify at trial. Why would you ever voluntarily bring a computer in to get fixed when you know you've got stuff like that on it? I mean fuck. I've been known to remove pirated software from a machine before sending it in for repair. Someone once brought in a cooler to the repair shop. I was completely confused. Asked awkwardly if I could help the guy. Guy opens the cooler and hands me a freezing laptop that's keyboard is literally bowed out because of the ice that formed in the motherboard. Apparently the guy spilled water all over his computer and his friend told him to put it in the freezer so it would turn into a solid. Dumbest thing I have ever experienced. Edit. He also said he put it in the freezer because he figured I could just chip the ice off and everything would be fine. A 20-year-old friend's mother was going through her husband's laptop to fix some virus issues and found videos of their daughter, my friend, getting changed, taking showers, etc. On the laptop. Apparently the husband, dad had hidden cameras in their daughter's room taking inappropriate videos of her for years. He's in jail now. But I can't imagine how that felt finding out that her own father that she loved and trusted was betraying her in the sickest way for most of her life. Edit. I looked up the news article about it and I was mistaken when I said he was in jail. He had a 9-month conditional sentence plus 2 years of supervised probation and had to participate in programs for sex offenders. I was seeing someone who told me on the 5th date that her parents who I'd met weren't her biological parents and that she was placed into care because her father molested her and her 2 sisters when they were younger. The only words I could string together when she told me this was, "Wow, that's fucked up." Yeah. When someone just kind of drops that info on you, it's probably hard to think of an appropriate response. That's a horrible thing for her to go through. I can't even imagine. I was in bed with a girl I was recently dating post-coitus. We were talking about more adventurous things, toys and the like, and she says deadpan, "Well, I was raped. I think it's too soon for things like that," then curls up into a sad cute ball. I've never had my heart drop so fast and be totally WTF at the same time. I don't remember the next 30 minutes. At least she was honest. But I can imagine it's hard to find something to say to that. I'm a woman who's been in a similar situation. There's no good time to drop that info, especially when adventurous sex stuff comes up. You have to just shut it down right then. You just have to say it and hope things go well. Edit, for those asking what the correct response is, there isn't one. All I can say is don't be an ass. And don't treat the person like they're a kicked puppy afterwards. Obviously be attentive and respectful about sexual boundaries. But don't treat them differently. Nothing is more frustrating than the people around you treating you like you're made of glass when you already feel violated as a person. My coworker asked me to fix his computer and I agreed since he was a nice guy. It turns out it was actually his 13-year-old son's computer. As soon as I got it, I knew it was a bad idea. It was disgusting, covered in food particles and a white crusty residue I'm hoping wasn't preteen jizz. It wouldn't even boot up when I turned it on, but I managed to get inside with Windows Startup Repair. As soon as I logged in, I saw dozens of torrented video games and hundreds of GBs of porn. Oh boy. I ran a virus scan and it removed so many files that it corrupted the hard drive and prevented the laptop from booting. I spent over 20 hours trying to recover the hard drive, but it was royally fucked. I gave the laptop back to him after I was able to get it booted and agreed to stop fixing PCs on the side. Ooh, boy. The last company I worked for, I got a laptop back from one of the sales guys who was complaining that his computer was slow and kept crashing. He was the sort of guy who, rather than raise a ticket, sends an email with the entire exec team copied in about how he couldn't do his job because IT were incompetent, etc., etc. Well, I got his laptop from him and noticed the hard drive was completely full. Most of the sales stuff is web-based, so there was no reason for the local drive to have anything on it. So, I had a look. Expertly hidden on his hard drive in a folder called Work Stuff was over 300 GB of naked pictures and videos of himself. Literally thousands of pictures of him naked, videos of him dancing naked, videos of him shoving things in his ass. One extremely awkward meeting with the guy's manager later, he was quietly let go. Reply all, Dear $sales guy, on behalf of the entire IT team, let me apologize for not planning ahead to provide you with the obviously necessary external hard drive to store your important work files. We usually send these laptops out buck naked with the bare essentials necessary for the average salesperson to use the web-based software. Because we did not anticipate your long, hard days, we feel we are remiss in our duties. Have no fear. We have taken this opportunity to share the contents of your hard drive with our manager, as well as your manager, in an attempt to better understand what our sales team does in the field so we can better prepare them going forward. While it was difficult getting your laptop functional at first, we were able to force our way in through the back door and really get deep into the bowels of your machine. Now, normally we prefer to dance around sensitive issues, and since this is a work laptop, and the content was obviously filed under work stuff, we felt it was important to note that while performing maintenance on your laptop, we found some unusual content. Did you know that you neglected to update your Adobe Reader software, your Chrome and Firefox browsers, and you apparently click yes to anything that pops up? according to the 10 toolbars installed on your e-browser. We also found evidence that there may be a necessary firmware update for your floppy parts. Oh, and HR will be talking to you about the 300 gigabits of nude photos and videos you incorrectly labeled as part of your work stuff. We ran a full search and could find no corresponding material in our organizational database. Please refer to the Employee Handbook section under Appropriate Computer Use. Your account and access will be terminated 3 minutes after we received the read receipt of this email. You may collect your final paycheck from HR, and we would like to wish you the best in your future endeavors. P.S. Gary in Facilities would like a word with you about your impressive abilities. He is looking for a date this Friday and your video resume really outshines the competition. At my old job, some kid, prob 17 or 18 at the time, brought in his Asus gaming laptop for us to clean up. The thing was riddled with malware. Some of the files we had to manually delete, and when we went looking we found something interesting. He had hours of sex tapes with him and his girlfriend. Also keep in mind that this is when Windows 8.1 was new and he photo tile on the start menu cycled through saved content. When the kid came to pick up the laptop, the Photos app showed a preview pic with his GF's ass and his penis clearly inside her. We quickly flipped the laptop around claiming that we forgot to re-enable something and turned off the live tile feature so that the pics would show up. None of us that worked on the laptop said a thing to the kid or his dad when they came to pick it up.